The College Board recently announced some big changes coming to the SAT. The test is going digital.
Yeah, and this morning we're joined by Susan Steron from Sylvan Learning Center to talk about these changes and how students can best prepare. So parents, listen up, some good advice ahead. We were talking during the commercial break, and I am questioning, is this going to be problematic?
Well, hopefully not. You know, change is always challenging, and technology always can present some difficulties. But they did kind of do a trial run during the PSAT, and for the most part, it went off pretty well. Some students did face some technological challenges, but my kind of overall take from kids is that they actually like the new format. Kids are really digitally savvy, and they enjoy taking tests on a computer more than they do even on pencil and paper.
Does this kind of take out the hassle of the Scantron? When I was in school, the Scantron was like there were always issues. They went missing, or there were problems with it actually scanning. You had to have a certain pencil, and you know, it had to have like the exact right conditions for it to actually work. Is this kind of cutting out all of that?
Yes. There's no pencil and paper, so everything is done on the computer and done digitally now. But you know, students need to learn even how to navigate that, because there's different features that they've built in that still are helpful for kids. Things like using process of elimination, marking questions to be able to go back for review, an annotation tool so that they can highlight on parts of the question so that they know the important portions of it. So there is some pretty cool features, plus a really advanced calculator system. But all of those things take practice. So my advice for kids is, before you go in and take this March exam and you think, oh, it's going to be easier on the digital format, make sure you practice with those features. You want to know how to use them inside and out so that you're good at it and don't waste any time when you take the actual test.
To piggyback off of Abby's question about the Scantrons, what does this mean for the grading process? Because I remember you're waiting weeks to get those scores in the mail. Is this going to be a more instantaneous process?
Eventually, I think that's the goal. Right now, they're still playing around with the algorithm of the scoring, so the College Board hasn't exactly released what that's going to look like. So this kind of guinea pig exam for kids taking it in March will kind of create that bell curve. So scores aren't going to be immediate, because it's not like a test in school where, you know, 80% of the class can get a 95%. You know, you're going to find kind of a curve based on easy, medium, and hard questions. So the College Board will still play around with that, but hopefully the goal is that test scores will come back more quickly and that students will be more motivated to take more tests, you know, kind of bringing them back to the old days of the SAT when everybody was taking them.
When I was in school, it was practice, practice, practice. You did a million of those SAT booklets.
Yeah.
And you had the book and you would go to classes. Is that kind of still the same mentality for students?
Yeah, students really need to be prepared. It's not a test that you can just walk into and do well. You know, there's strategy behind it, and the more that you learn, the higher your score is going to be. So whether it's doing prep like we do with students at Sylvan, or just taking time to do prep on your own, you know, you really want to go in and do your best job on the test. You can take it again, so if you're not happy with your score, then make some changes. Otherwise, it's a standardized test, so whatever you get the first time, if you do nothing different, most likely you're going to get a very similar score the next time. So preparation is definitely key. And I recommend for kids that the last kind of week and a half before the test, go onto the College Board website. There is some great resources on there that they can practice with. They can practice with the Blue Book, which is kind of the online format of the SAT. They can practice with Desmos, which is the new calculator component to the SAT. So if you're not familiar with that, make sure that you're going in with some background knowledge.
Good information to have, and I imagine if families at home have more questions or want a little extra guidance or tutoring, they can come right to you. We'll post all of Susan's information on our website, foxrochester.com, after the show this